What's going on, everybody? All right, so I know I've already put a video up today, and a lot of you probably didn't watch that because it was about LASIK surgery and not about trucks, but I put up a video a while back about weight loss, and it's going on 2 million views. So I thought maybe one day that one would take off as well, and I thought some people might want to know about that. But this video is about trucks. Toyota actually released today or yesterday, I can't remember when I seen it. I was at the pool when I seen it today. But they released a photo of some electric vehicles. One of them appears to be like an electric Tacoma. I'll add photos here. And the other one appears to be like an electric FJ Cruiser. My wife always loved the FJ Cruisers, and she's actually talked about wanting a Tesla. So if Toyota came out with an all-electric FJ Cruiser, she would probably be all about that, especially if they color match the roof, which they didn't do with the first one. That's the only thing she didn't like about those, is they had, most of them had like a white roof and then a opposite color body and fenders and hood. But I digress. Me personally, I like the looks of this Tacoma. Of course, I like the looks of the Tacoma. I think it's a good looking truck. I never was a big fan of the FJ Cruiser look. Specifically, I always thought the 4Runners looked better than the FJ Cruisers. Like I said, Pam did like the FJ Cruisers, but they quit making them. That's why she would now want a 4Runner. But in the future, if they came out with the FJ Cruiser, I think she would be more inclined to trade a 4Runner in on that. But let's get back to the Tacoma. It appears that it's the Tacoma. They didn't give any real information about this that I've seen in the articles that I've read about it. They didn't give any destinations or anything, or not destination, but like how far you could travel, range, I guess, in miles that you could travel with one of these things. Sorry about the wind, it's a little windy down here in Florida. How do I feel personally about electric vehicles? I think they could be really fun because they're extremely fast. All the torque is right off the bat, which is pretty cool. But until they make an electric vehicle that I can drive from Tennessee to Florida and not have to stop and charge, because charging stations for these things aren't abundant. They're not everywhere. I can only think of like 3 or 4 places that I know of around me in Tennessee that has charging stations for electric vehicles. And they're not really that close to me. So for me to have to map out my travel for that 800-mile trip or whatever it is would be very inconvenient. And then for me to have to stop and wait an hour to charge that thing before I can get back in it and then drive another, 400 miles or 450 miles. And then as soon as I got here, if I hit traffic, let's say on I-4, I would be in a world of hurt, and I would have to stop again somewhere and find a charging station to charge it on up to make it on to my destination. That's my only issue with electric vehicles right now. The only other issue I have is I've read where these batteries aren't recyclable. So a battery on an electric vehicle has like a 10 to 15 year life. And then there's just going to be tons of these things littering landfills where they can't be recycled. Now, maybe by then they'll have a way to do this. Now, I'm not 100% sure if that's true, but maybe by then they'll have a way to recycle them if they can't do it now. But as far as the looks of this truck and the FJ, they look a lot like the current Tacomas. It kind of looks like a mix between the Tacoma and the Tundra. And I don't know why the Tacoma in the electric vehicle on this, being a little bit smaller to the appearance, looks better to me than the Tundra does. I don't know why I don't like the Tundra. It's just, I don't know. I can't explain it to you. I just don't like that. But to me, it looks better in a smaller package. And maybe that's why I like the Tacoma. I guess it's kind of a smaller Tundra-esque vehicle. I think it looks better, but I don't like the 2022 Tundra as we've talked about before. But I do like the looks of this, and there again, the FJ looks basically just like an FJ. I think these vehicles look pretty much like the current production today, but I'm curious about what your opinions are on these. I've told you mine. I'm not a big fan of electric vehicles until they increase the range. Let's say they get 1,000 miles out of one charge, I might be in on that. But when your range is 450 miles, not so much. I want to know what you think. If you just traveled around a city or you was just going off-road for the day and you wasn't going to travel, you know, 400 miles or more, it might be great. But you have to think about this. If you're going to Florida and you've got your air conditioner on and then it starts raining and you turn on your windshield wipers, it gets dark and you turn on your headlights, that is actually cutting back from that range. They may not actually want you to think about that when you're buying it, but every accessory you turn on cuts back from the 450 miles, if that's what it is. Most of these vehicles like this, that's around the range you're going to get, is 400 to 450 miles-ish from what I've seen. And any accessory you turn on actually cuts back from that range. So if you're coming into a state where it's 85 degrees, 86 degrees like it was when I got here, well, you've just cut your mileage down from 450 to 420. I don't know. But I'm curious to know what you all think. How did you like these pictures? What did you think? Would you be interested in buying something like this? Off-roading, I could see electric being a little bit of a problem, and I want to tell you why real quick. If you're going up a steep incline or something and you give it a little bit of gas, like let's say you hit a bump or something and you tap the throttle a little bit, you have instantaneous torque, and that could cause you to spin out. I don't know if a lot of people thought about that, but that instant torque could be a little rough off-roading. You would have to have very good throttle control over that to keep that instant torque from spinning the tires and maybe having you spin out or spin to a direction you don't want to go in. But again, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I appreciate y'all watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next time.